British Prime Minister David Cameron says 16,000 police will be put on the streets of London to stop the rioting and looting which has devastated parts of the city over the last few nights. More than 450 people have been arrested as mobs smash cars and shops and set fire to buildings in the capital, as well as in Birmingham, Liverpool, Bristol and other centres. Mr Cameron says Parliament will be recalled on Thursday to discuss the worst riots in Britain in 2 decades. Here's Europe correspondent Philip Williams.
In 1 year, this city will bring the world the Olympics. But for hours, this was the image the world saw of the British capital. The massive fires and the looting continued throughout the night. Police were simply unable to control the multiplying flashpoints. In some areas, the looting was frenzied as opportunist thieves took what they could as quickly as possible. But in other areas there was almost a casual atmosphere as people helped themselves, and where police were nowhere to be seen for hours. The greatest danger came from the many fires. Some enveloped whole buildings. This furniture store had been in the same family for 5 generations. There was no hope of saving it.
No, it's just mindless thuggery. As I said, I drove past the shop. The window was broken when I drove past the shop. When I parked the car, came back, and there was 2 people who come out of the shop, and 2 minutes ran out of the broken window. 2 minutes later, it was ablaze. I've just gone in and torched it.
Where the firefighters could get to the scene, they had to hack into buildings. The greatest fear was that people were trapped inside. In the streets, cars were torched, the violence apparently random. Whole neighbourhoods, for a while at least, without protection. This is the sort of violence that's erupted all over the capital. Here, the police are not in control. They've cordoned off some of the streets here, but right here in the centre of things, there are simply no police at all. And while there were an extra 1,700 police on the streets, it was clearly not enough. Baton charges did help clear the streets, and armoured 4-wheel drives were effective at times. But the looters simply waited until they'd gone past before ransacking the next shop, and horrified residents felt helpless.
So the looters had freedom to break into any shop around. Left, right, they kicked it in.
Events took an even more sinister turn as shots were fired. One man was hit in a car. He died a short time ago. With so many rocks and bottles used as weapons, there were more injuries, especially amongst the police. And while numbers and tactics were clearly inadequate, the Prime Minister David Cameron was in no doubt as to who was to blame.
This is criminality, pure and simple, and it has to be confronted and defeated. People should be in no doubt that we are on the side of the law-abiding people who are appalled by what has happened in their own communities.
David Cameron announced police numbers would be boosted in London from 6,000 last night to 16,000 tonight. The political response too will be redoubled.
Parliament will be recalled for a day on Thursday, so I can make a statement to Parliament and we can hold a debate, and we are all able to stand together in condemnation of these crimes and also to stand together in determination to rebuild these communities.
Police have begun releasing CCTV images of those alleged to have been a part of the violence. They want the public to help identify them and say there'll be more images to come. The community's faith in the ability of the police to protect their safety, their homes and businesses has been shaken to the core. The extra police will be very welcome. Some are even calling for the army to be deployed. At times it did look like a war zone, and one the police were at times losing. Lost too a sense of an open, tolerant city, replaced by a deep unease, how some appear to have turned on their own society. Philip Williams, Lateline.